Okay, so now that the sanitizer solution is all there, sanitizing most of our gear, we're going to start with the bottles. I'll just start with the 22s first. We have a shit ton of these, 2 pieces of them. I've got my fast rack things here. I'm just going to keep one of the racks right here, ready to use. And we're actually going to start sanitizing bottles. So it's pretty straightforward. What you do is you take your already clean bottles, which I've recently washed with soapy water, let them drain out, and you just put them upside down here on the spigot, and you just press a few times. Well, that didn't do anything. You got to go a few. See, there you go. Once the sanitizer is spraying through it, give each bottle a nice spray. Also get the nozzle of the bottle sanitized, and then place it into the fast track where it'll just drain out the excess, and you don't have to really worry about some bottle tree falling over or anything like that. This thing is really useful. Before you know it, we're going to have all these bottles sanitized and moving on to the next step. If this fills up with foam, you just dump it back into your sanitizing bucket and then pour some fresh liquid into it. That happens pretty frequently. Now that our priming sugar solution is cooled down, our bottles are sanitized, I'm just going to finish up with the sanitizing of all this stuff, the siphon and the other gear. And then we're going to crack open our beer and get to work. So I'm just going to get these caps, sort of drained out a bit. Leave those on the side for now. And we get our filing wand. Sanitizer, put that on the side for now. What I really want is to make sure these hoses have had a lot of sanitizing liquid inside there, which they have. And then this one, kind of a pain to get on here. So you take your longer hose and you want to get that onto the end of the siphon here. Sometimes it's a little hassle here. There we are. We have liftoff. Get it on pretty good, but not too much, because you'll never get it off later, but you also don't want it to fall off while you're using it. So then this one, oh, sorry Hudson, that was a blooper.
Oops.
So this one, you want to get the other end of the hose here, make sure it's pointing into the bucket, and you're going to siphon the sanitizer through the siphon a bit. And then, you get sanitizer going through a bit, and then you're good. Now, there's going to be some foam in there, but again, that's okay to have a little bit of this stuff in there. And basically, you want to make sure the whole hose itself remains sanitized, so don't go touching the bottom of it too much. You want to keep this clean and kind of keep your hands off of it. Get it on the side somewhere in the meantime. One useful thing too, if there's any pieces that you just can't get submerged, you can always follow through with a little bit of sanitizer spray, always helpful. But again, try to keep these somewhere that you're not going to be touching the parts that you're trying to get sanitized, because then you have to start over. Point, once I transfer this out of here, this is going to be the clean sanitizer bucket that the beer is going to go into, so we definitely want to be really conscious of what touches that, which basically means nothing. I even am going to have a lid that is just going to be resting on top of the beer once we put it in here, and I just don't want anything on there to be going anywhere near the beer. So I'll sanitize this too, and I'll leave it on the side for a bit. So the next step is to get our beer ready. So what I usually do is I have a certain area that I work with, which happens to be the size of a fermentation bucket. You want the beer bucket to be higher than the bottling bucket, because when you siphon, the gravity sort of has to play a part. So I'm leaving the beer here. I'm going to open it, gently place it here, move the bottling bucket here, and then we're going to be siphoning down to this location. So this is the first time I've touched this beer since we put our secondary in there, our vanilla beans. So what I want to do is, I did this already, but I'll show you for the sake of doing it again. Just sanitize the whole area just to be safe. Anything near any openings, such as the airlock, which we're about to remove, the lid itself. I already wiped this down before with sanitized paper towels, but I'll do it again just to capture that. Hudson, you're gonna have to leave soon.
Hudson. Hi,
He's
babe.
like, Papa, I've been waiting to see this beer. I just want to make sure it's good. So the first thing is we're gonna get this airlock off. Try not to like play with it too much, or else you're gonna get sanitizing fluid in your beer, and I don't know. I just don't like that. So be careful. Now we don't want him going in there. We're going to gently open this. Without playing with it. We're going to gently raise this beer up to the level we need. We don't want to shake it around.